Today is October the 7th, and we are coming to you live from Tata Productions Studio, Little Canada, Minnesota. I am TJ Soyune. Today we will have the privilege of bringing to you all of Amazonian 1st of October festivities, celebrations in one clip. And we shall also have the opportunity to analyze and discuss what our President Sako, said on the 31st of September 2020 to the Amazonian people as they prepare to celebrate their Independence Day on October 1st, 2020. I must apologize that we did not come on air immediately. This was because we understood that given the nature of our revolution and the situation on the ground, most of the videos and celebrations will be coming in haphazardly. So we had to wait to put a great show for you today. And I promise you, you will not regret watching this, listening to the messages, especially the message that was sent to us by our restoration forces from Ketuja County, and the message that His Excellency President Sako sent to us on the 31st. You see, whenever President Sako talks, I listen. And when I listen, I try to interpret it. When I interpret it, I try to analyze it. I try to analyze it. When I analyze it, I bring it to you and explain it so that you understand, so that you get the message. Sometimes when we get that message when we get that message at that time, we don't get it in, but when it is analyzed, we believe you get it. Whenever President Sako talks, he talks a lot of sense. He passes over a lot of information that if you don't listen to his message 1, 2, 3 times, you will not get it. Before I come to that, let us just relax ourselves with this march past from Fako County.
As you can see, this is the street of Ekona Town. This is the street of Ekona Town. We make the way to understand that we are not afraid for the La Public. We move directly to the street of Ekona Town. We are inside Ekona Town, do the march past. We are telling the La Public, we are telling the embassies that say we are not afraid from them. We are there for them. The one war, we shall give the war. We tell the US, we are not afraid for everybody. We are not afraid for the La Public. We shall attack La Public anyhow we wanted. This is the great soldier of Fako Action, marching to where the general is. As you can see, this is the street of Ekona Town. This is the street of Ekona Town. We make the way to understand that we are not afraid for the La Public. We move directly to the street of Ekona Town. We are inside Ekona Town, do the march past. We are telling the La Public, we are telling the embassies that say we are not afraid from them. We are there for them. The one war, we shall give the war. We tell the US, we are not afraid for everybody. We are not afraid for the La Public. We shall attack La Public anyhow we wanted. This is the great soldier of Fako Action, marching to where the general is. Yeah, this is the Fako Action. Mountain Lion, FACO, the soldier being orders. They march to their grandstand to where their general is. So, as you can see, this is the population all over watching the Ambazonian celebrate their Independence Day, 1st October. Everything is moving smoothly. The population are out there, civilians are out there watching. The commanders, generals, colonels.
The civilians, all the inhabitants that are supporting us in this revolution, they have all come out in their great numbers in order to witness this Ambazonian Great Day, which is 1st October. We are a nation of its own. We can never be joined with La Republic. Never. La Republic borrow our territory, our land, in order to use it for its own selfish interest. So we are in these numbers.
The soldiers are moving where the general is. So as you can see, the march band moves perfect. They are moving where the general is.
We are more than 10,000.
We are more than 10,000 population. They have their guns on their hand, as you can see. You can see, this is the captain in charge. The captain in charge, moving with voice ahead. It's moving, everything is moving. The independent of FACO, the independent of Amazonian coming up. 1st October 2020. Everything is moving the way God planted. Oh, thank you very much. This is the captain of FACO, moving with the battalions. As you can see, we are more than 1,000. We are marching to where our general is, where the colonel is, where the commander is. As you can see, everything moving smoothly. Thanks very much to the diaspora. Thanks very much to everybody. Thanks very much to FACO Action. Everything is moving smoothly.
Here you have it there. And thank you all. Thanks those who are already watching with us. Thank you followers like Tar, Leonard, Joseph, Fongo. You are watching with us. Please, if you're watching, continue to share. We have a very entertaining program for you today, and most importantly, we have the entire 1st of October celebration clip all in one, and the message that our restoration forces sent on that day. Ambazonia has successfully raised an army to fight this war now. We have successfully raised an army to defend us. We have successfully raised an army to stand for us, to speak for us as they did on October 1st. But first of all, before we go to that, we will want to listen to what our President Sarkozy said, what he told the Ambazonian people on the 31st of September. This is Sigan Ambazonia. It is time, Ambazonia. I am TJ Soyuni. Our main topic of discussion, the central theme that we shall talk today is Ambazonia October 1st 2020 military parade in one clip. We shall bring that to you. But before we go to that, we have to we have to bring you what our president said. You know, he addressed us Ambazonians on the 31st of September. We will bring you the clips of what he said on that day, and then we try to explain, because there is a lot in what President Sarkozy said. Remember, in my introduction, I said that whenever he talks, I listen, and I try to listen again to get the message, because in that moment, in that immediate time that he is talking, if you only listen to his message once, it will be very difficult to get the Jews inside that message. And today I'm going to bring it to you. Please, as you are with us, you have a Kana Rochero washing, we have Amberly Squad, you have Che Kwe John, you have Emmanuel Fai, you have Benjamin Titi, you are watching, you have Efonde Eba, you are watching. Please invite more people so that we can get this message from our president and the message from our restoration forces together. We should have brought you this before today, but because we understood the situation in Ground Zero, the difficulties in internet, in availability of internet, because we understood the limited supply of electricity, we decided to wait so that we can get all those clips, all those celebration clips, put them together and then bring it to you with the message. And I hope bringing you this message today is not late. We are in a revolution and we are in war, and things like that are bound to happen. At the end of this message today, at the end of this program today, we shall give you our own opinion on the way forward after the successful 1st of October celebrations 2020. It all started on the 30th of September, I'm sorry. It all started on the 30th of September with the address by President Sako. I'm sorry for that mistake. I think I've been calling 31st, but it's 30th of September. It all started on the 30th of September with President Sako addressing the nation and talking to Ambazonians. The first thing he did that caught our attention was we saw President Sako. He did not come out in a suit and a tie. He did not come out in one of our traditional dresses. He came out as a wartime leader to make his point. This has a message to send. As a leader during war and during a revolution, he came out in what you can see here on this picture. This is a wartime leader. He came out in a camouflage, in a military camouflage, to send the message, especially to our enemy, the Cameroon Republic, that this is a wartime. If I can jog your memory a little, I will bring you this. Remember when President Sako took over leadership of Ambazonia immediately? The former leader did not embrace war openly, but President Sako did. Listen to what he said. Immediately he took over leadership in 2018. In his premier address, he made it clear that he was a wartime leader of this revolution, and he told us himself by saying we will fight. In the course of 2 minutes, he said we will fight more than 5 times. Listen to him here.
We will resist till the last one of us the intrusion and aggression of French Cameroon on our land and our people. Fellow British Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, the citizens of this new republic to which we gave birth last October 1st are prepared to tell the world openly, categorically, unapologetically, here and now, that if they have chosen to turn their gaze to our plight, to be unmoved by our suffering, to remain deaf to our loud calls for succor, if they are unshaken to our protestations and desperate appeals for their intervention in this historic injustice, then we, left to carve our way into history, have decided we must fight. We, the people of the British Southern Cameroons, will no longer dwell at the nexus of nullification and the historic injustice it engendered in our land. We will fight for justice, because fighting for justice is to fight for right. We will fight to secure the safe and unconditional release of our leaders, because there too, justice is on our side. We will fight their illegal abduction from Abuja, Buhari's breach of injunctions on his own country and international law. We will fight against Mr. Biya's summon of foreign martial support for his butchery of our people and the spoiling of our land and our lives. We will fight, dear Ambazonians, because the spouses and families of our leaders remain resolute in this fight. If the diplomats and peacemakers of the world have chosen to dim the light of the...
Yes, you get that. We will fight. We will fight for justice. We will fight if the world abandons us. We will fight, he said, and he has carried that on. That has been his mantra. He's a wartime leader. And on the 30th of September, he came out again in military camouflage to tell us, to tell the world, and especially our enemy, that he is not backing down. He made a lot of promises in his speech of the 30th of September. Before we go to that, let us take the speech Pius make and explain to you what he said and the various steps he took to say it. He started by honoring our fallen soldiers and our people killed in the cause of this uncalled for war. With a call or a move for unity, he remembered everyone across Ambazonia, without minding whether you are fighting under the interim government or you are fighting under whatever leader, but he called their names. This is what he said, followed by a minute of silence. Let me bring that to you.
Dear Ambazonians, Happy Independence Day. Let us honor some of the great warriors of our time who have passed on to cheer us up from the world beyond. Romanos, Biabia, Ivomba, Amigo, Divine, Chacha, Tiger, and all the valiant commanders. They gave their lives to defend our proud inheritance. All hail 21 gun salute to our great heroes. And now a moment of silence, please, to honor this. May their souls rest in honor.
May their souls rest in honor. And when we do this like we're doing now, we're thinking of those brilliant soldiers who've laid their lives so that we can have a homeland, who've laid their lives so that we can have a place called home, who've laid their lives to defend our women and our children, who've laid their lives so that we don't tell our children tomorrow that we were cowards. President Sako said he believes in our cause. He said We are now in the twilight of our sufferings, of our struggle. The wind of liberation is sweeping across our land. Ambazonia is the land of our collective dream. This is what he said. Listen to him.
In targeted summary execution of our innocent people by Paul Biya's killer squads, I still believe we are now at the twilight of our political daybreak, emptying the combined worth and wealth of a lifetime fortune into the country of our collective dream. At last, my people, the wind of total liberation is sweeping through Ambazonia, our priceless inheritance. Let's get it straight. The freedom of Ambazonia will not depend on the free will of our enemies. In celebrating this historic day, we are not trying to glorify our deaths to satisfy a political interest, but to reaffirm our unique destiny in the opportunities and the hope that our collective sacrifice foreshadows on the generation to come.
And he went on to say that October 1st is our Independence Day. He gives the rightful meaning of October 1st, and it plays in Ambazonia. A little bit of some of our lesson, a history lesson the president gave us in the next segment of his speech.
Of every year is not just another ordinary day in the life of our nation. This is October 1st, our rightful Independence Day, a day which by all standards of legality marks the end of colonial rule and the establishment of a free and independent Southern Cameroon's nation. To ascertain the actual political morality and the biological connotation of this great day, a routine trip into history will suffice. Over 6 decades ago, precisely on the 21st of April 1961, nations of the earth assembled by some divine order and under the organizational auspices of the United Nations General Assembly to vote for the independence of the UN Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroons, now known as the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, with the passing of Resolution 1608. It was decided that at midnight, September 30th, the trusteeship administration of Britain over Southern Cameroons will come to an expected end. That is how the 1st of October became British Southern Cameroon's Independence Day. Unfortunately, evil predators from French Cameroon, with the help of imperialist France, stole our gift in the air before it landed. So instead of decolonization, we were recolonized by a French proxy. Since joining the enslaved people of the Banana Republic of French Cameroon, only by imagination do we travel the distance into the jungle of our history to pay homage to our nabbed Independence Day. Throughout our botched experiment, celebrating this day was criminalized in the order of treason by our invaders. These evil occupiers have disappeared many of our comrades just for daring to identify or commemorate this day. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, beloved Ambazonians, as we make progress with this discourse, permit me to rehearse a brief chronology of significant events dating the political life of Ambazonia. By 1954, our forefathers had garnered enough momentum for the creation of the First Republic after withdrawal from the Eastern House of Assembly in Enugu, Nigeria. Through our parliamentary practice and in the creed of our civilized heritage, we had withdrawn in 1953 and asserted our rights to self-governance. However, our fledgling democracy, a continental flag bearer at the time, especially in the expression of political choices and transition of power, was short-lived, not without the hope invested and reflected in our character. Then came the official proclamation of our independence. Procedure by the United Nations General Assembly on the 21st of April 1961. October 1st was isolated from Destiny's calendar to host this glorifying crown and privilege as the birthday of our nation state. Of course, in the wisdom of politics, our main intention was sought prior by way of the plebiscite if we would like to join a colleague nation, Cameroon, a former Category B UN Trust territory, which became the Independent Republic of Cameroon on 1st January 1960. The question will be to form a two-state federation of equal status or join the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, to this day, despite the
Yeah, I'm sorry for that technical hitch there, but we continue with some significant events and the chronology from and to where we are now by President Sako in his speech of September 30th.
Cameroonians, beloved Ambazonians, as we make progress with this discourse, permit me to rehearse a brief chronology of significant events dating the political life of Ambazonia. By 1954, our forefathers had garnered enough momentum for the creation of the first republic after withdrawal from the Eastern House of Assembly in Enugu, Nigeria. Through our parliamentary practice and in the creed of our civilized heritage, we had withdrawn in 1953.
Yeah, we heard that. That's some technical difficulties, but we are putting things in place. The president went on to say that there is no official document binding us to the Cameroon Republic. And he reiterated the fact that every person or every people on earth has the right to celebrate their birthday. Listen to President Sako.
To this day, despite the gut-wrenching noise about this process, the result of the consultation vote and the outcome, there is no official document in the brazen and binding logic of law which justifies claims of any marriage with French Cameroon. Even if it is to be believed, as pundits of the Hallelujah Choir in Yaoundé would have it, that our political intention was sought and indeed given in stone. My people, there is nothing in the height of this business which qualifies or validates our current occupation by French Cameroon except new colonial accommodation. Fellow comrades in arms, from that doomsday of the proclamation of our independence in 1961, we have endured a bloody conspiracy like no other nation in the fold and mold of black on black politics. Today, the luxury of this nationalist superstition demands more than a proclamation of the right of existence of our people, to whom the legitimate promises to our independent nation. It is an affirmation of our true identity and a rejection of the colonial enterprise of fraud called the Republic of Cameroon. Credit me, if you may, to say that I stand this moment on the shores of our proclaimed independence to feel our hopes and the certainty and the reality that the time has come when we will all celebrate this day in honor, dignity, and even in tears of pride. Every people on earth has the right to celebrate the day of their birth. A day like this one. This is our heritage. This is our story. and this is our destiny.
And that is what we did on October 1st, 2020, celebrating in pomp and fanfare the day of Ambazonia's birthday. We celebrated it. We have graduated from the bondage in the Cameroon Republic. We have mentally graduated from the slavery they put us in a series of no. The president said we are an English country. We are being killed daily for being Ambazonians, nothing else. What is happening in our land is a genocide. Nobody can call it less. He said no to federalists, no to our killers, no to our torturers, no to our looters, no to the people miming us. Listen to President Sako as he said that.
Being killed daily for who we are, and the post-Rwanda world is watching with tight lips and tight hands. We say no to those favoring French Cameroon to continue recolonizing southern Cameroons. No to those killing us for the rebranding of a political ideology. No to those torturing our people for the gratification of their vampire instincts. No to those looting Ambazonia for the economic privileges of colonial bounty houses in Europe. No to those maiming our children just to feed the social media with horrible news headlines and hashtags. No to those who only brandish their responsibility to protect in a meeting agenda and not on their real world agenda for Ambazonia.
And that no, the series of no's from our president was echoed by our restoration forces on ground zero. The president said he had told La République, the Cameroon Republic, a story before in another language. And he said he was going to tell them another story again in a very simple language. He acknowledged the fact that we allowed them to stay when they came into our land. We accommodated them when they overstayed their welcome. We gave them our hands in marriage when they asked for it. We tolerated them when they meant us harm, and we knew it. We engaged them like gentlemen. We endured them, but destiny has caught up with them. Yet they are claiming privilege, claiming our land with no title deed, claiming a marriage with no marriage certificate. No other person can put it better to you than President Sako. Listen to him.
I told French Cameroon before in another language. Let me tell you again in a simple language. The person who does not want his neighbor to sleep should expect a knock on his door. Fellow Ambazonians, remember when this all started? We suffered in chains, but held back from 1961 to 2016. By the grace of our very Christian conscience, our civility was mistaken for stupidity. We kept condoning these barbarians who are killing us now inside our own country because they appeared in the complexion of our brothers. We obliged them when they asked to stay in our land. We accommodated them when they decided to overstay their welcome. We gave them our pure hand when they knocked our doors for marriage. We tolerated them when they desperately stood in opposition to our culture. We engaged them like gentlemen when they hewed down every fruit-bearing tree in our yard. We endured them in their reckless inconsideration of our lives, culture, identity, and aspirations as a people for too long. But it was a matter of time before destiny caught up with the iniquities of these French Cameroon wolves in sheep clothing in Ambazonia, who are still claiming privilege, authority, and title over Ambazonia as they are no so against us, the rightful owners and indigenous people of Ambazonia. A title, of course, without a title deed, a marriage without a marriage certificate, an enterprise of lies.
Next, President Sako reminds us of our mission today as the never again generation. He evoked the spirit of Endele Foncha. He appealed to the nationalistic spirits of Ebenezer Akwanga, for Ngala Mfo, Ngonji Dinka, Tasang Wilfred, who held on to the ray of hope that today has metamorphosed to the interim government and where we are today. Listen to him.
As the never again generation, we have one assignment: to right this great wrong through the sword of justice, with the flame of our courage and the undying spirit of our righteous resolve. So whether we live or die, let it be for Ambazonia. My dear compatriots, let no one preach colonial righteousness or political righteousness and colonial accommodation to your hearing anymore. This is the single strand of logic which rewards our oppressors and occupiers with privileged tools of terror, torture, and impunity in the ambition for power. What we have done since the national tragedy of 1st October 1961 is to resist and seek to exist in full recognition of our political identity. Dr. EML Endele, and may his soul rest in honor, and others sought to help the help of Nigeria to reverse this ugly tide of events. Our people assembled in Buea and Bamenda in what's known as the AAC 1 and 2 to provide leadership to their thinking. Goodwill citizens petitioned in the Bamenda High Court to reclaim our sovereignty. Dr. John Gu Foncha, before his death, traveled with others to the United Kingdom to appeal for the consideration of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. High-powered Amazonian diplomatic delegations severally visited the United Nations Secretariat in the United States for a redress of our bitter political experience. The birth of several nationalist entities, especially the Youth League of Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, challenged our sense of urgency with a campaign for self-defense. Chief Justice Ebon, of blessed memory, seized Radio Buea to declare the independence of our nation. Chief Ayamba Ote's SCNC restored the consciousness of our political identity. Mandated representatives of our people seized the exclusive attention of the High Court of Nigeria in Abuja, presided by Chief Justice R.N. Okeje. His Capo SCNC-led team prayed the African Court of Human Rights in the Gambia to stake our claims in continental scope. The depth of our international petition have been constantly increased by the revolutionary sacrifice of Chairman Dr. Fongalafo, Honorable Goji Dinka, Ambassador Henry Foso, and the consortium under the leadership of Comrade Abombala Nkogo rekindled the flames of our political emancipation in a daring act of political sacrifice. Comrade Tassan Wilfred held onto the torch of hope that transplanted the engine of the consortium into a new restoration vehicle, the interim government. The former regime.
We have done everything humanly under this leadership the president just named, and nothing has been enough. The president evokes or calls on God to help us. At this moment, we have reached a break or make point, and we don't want to be the ones to tell our children that we were cowards or that we are cowards. Listen to President Sarko.
Surrounded by patriotic voices like Secretary Chris Ano, Dumfo and Bo Herbert, Honorable Kometa, my indefatigable Vice President Abongwa Harrison, and a terrific team of cabinet members, I can only pray and say, so help us God. We sang the song of solidarity and peace, but this has not proved enough. We have campaigned for understanding, but this has not gathered enough purpose. We have waged our bargain on the side of civility, but it has not reconciled our true intentions in this bloody interpretation of events. We have burdened our conscience with the soulful adventure of political appeasement, but it has not granted us enough foothold into the day's offerings. We have lamented our fate in self-pity, but this has not expressed our humanity enough. We began a movement of self-discovery with slogans of peace and justice, but it did not yield enough political consideration. We have changed this movement from a domestic revolution under the talents of curiosity to now a liberation struggle in the steady hands of a community-based leadership. But this is not enough. We have given the liberation struggle a center stage in the jealous eyes of global political causes, but this is hardly enough. This is where we are, and we know it too well to tell these truths to our children. Nothing reminds us and informs our agenda better than our collective sacrifices and common aspirations as a people.
President Sarko welcomes us Ambazonians, especially on the 1st of October 2020, to a new chapter of challenges in our liberation war and in our struggle. 1st October 2020 marks a turning point as we take charge of our destiny, because nobody is coming to our earth. Nobody is come to liberate us from the Cameroon Republic. We are the ones to liberate ourselves. We can no longer appease the Cameroon Republic with peace. We can no longer engage them in debates only or civil discussions. It is time for the new firepower, the president said. It is time to give up that peace, that long journey of peace, and embrace the shortest route of firepower. Listen to President Sarko.
And women, dear Ambazonians, happy Independence Day. Let us honor some of the great warriors of our time who have passed on to cheer us up from the world beyond. Romanus, Bia.
Sorry for that mix-up. Okay, and let me see what is happening. Okay. Yeah, the president, like I said, it is time to give up the long journey of peace when we engage them in peace talks, in debates or civil discussions. President Sarko made a big announcement commissioning and committing $1 billion armed struggle to our cause. With this in mind, he called on new draftees into the People's Army. He is asking those brave boys and girls back home on ground zero, this shall be enough for you. Like I said here, today we are going to bring you the entire celebration of October Feast in one clip, and you will all see. And we need more of our young boys and girls, our able men who can still fight and defend our land, to enroll into the national army, into the Ambazonian army, because from the presidency there is a 1 billion arms purchase for our cause. The president ended his speech by calling for unity. Let us unite in battle to come out united in victory, he said.
To unfold in phases, to rearm any and every willing soldier of our liberation struggle as we dig deeper into the trenches of self-defense. Our robust community self-defense apparatus will benefit from the strategic resources from this timely project as counties and local government areas prioritize their security in this national strategic plan. Elite forces armed with our quest for justice and a righteous vengeance shall play a leading role to recapture territories still under the illegal occupation of French Cameroon. And our enlistment program, launched under the Amber War Draft campaign, shall be broadened in scope and depth to put weapons in the hands of any and every willing and patriotic warrior in Ambazonia. In the glorious expectation of this new phase, the Ambazonian Restoration Forces in every county and local government are now constituted into the People's Army. Every true Ambazonian soldier in this era deserves innovative upgrade and must be a lover of community development, a promoter of liberty, a guarantor of our sovereignty, a defender of our women and children, a campaigner for humanity, a liberator with political pedigree, a soldier of fortune, a steward of good hope, and a patriot of the order of Augustine Ngomjoa. My dear people, we have come this far to keep close to each other, to believe in ourselves, to take our vows seriously, to admire our efforts, to know this devil of a French Cameroon monster in our true colors. Let us unite in battle so we may remain united in victory. Our common agreement around the essence of this day is a confirmation that what unites us is far greater than what separates us. As our people celebrate affirming our identity, country, pride, and memories of their loved ones, we are reminded again of who we are. The centrality of this day in our liberation history and what we have sacrificed so far to behold this moment with great hope than ever. The defiance of the Ambazonian spirit knows no political bullies or war threats than the beliefs and truths about our identity. While we reiterate our willingness, readiness, and preparedness to a political mediation and negotiation in the existing international framework under the auspices of the Swiss-led diplomatic initiative, our resolve to statehood is well established in the will and choice of weapons of our people. We have been patient enough on our resolve for dialogue, but not even this piece of virtue in our identity should be taken for granted. The Ambazonian will is disposed to all weapons of political adaptation and survival. From the shores of Bimbia.
Yeah, that was President Sako. And what we've brought to you, there's something that has echoed from our president on the 30th of September to ground zero. Victory. It seems we are now closer to victory than ever thought or than ever before. And we will say that we have more in common than that little that divides us. We have our land, the territory of Ambazonia, our nation. We have our people. This unites us a lot than that little that divides us. How far we have come. If you heard from the president's speech, right from the Germans, the British, when we were under Nigeria, when we were slaves in the Cameroon Republic, up till 2016 when we made a decision, and in 2017 we are on our own. All that unites us than divide us. How far we have come, what we have endured, what we've gone through, these sufferings, these struggles have been, our struggles have been unique. Our cause and our aspiration, our aspiring to be free, a free people, a liberated people, an independent Ambazonia, this unites us more than that little that divides us. We have the Ambazonian flag, the 13 stars representing our 13 counties, and the dove. All these, even if we differ in leadership, even if we differ in time frame, we wave one flag, our Ambazonian flag. We sing one anthem. The Hail Ambazonia. We sing it from northern zone to southern zone. Our actions, our calls for ghost towns and lockdowns, our thought process, our destiny and determination, our heritage, all these unite us more than what divides us. If we want to talk about what divides us, we'll only say maybe in leadership. That is not a lot. Because under those leaders, the people who follow whatever leader, they wave the same flag. They sing the same anthem. They have the same thought process, the same determination. And this was shown on October 1st when our people came out. Let us now talk on the school resumption. We as Ambazonians, we are not against school resumption. But what we say is that the right to life precedes or overshadows the right to education. You must have that life in order to be educated. And we want a safe zone for safe schooling for our children and our loved ones. We want that when those schools are operational, we should have the Ambazonian curriculum being taught to our children. But if we have a contrary view like this one in the northern zone where a colonial deal was threatening our people, we don't go to school under threat. We don't go to school with colonial armed soldiers guarding us. That has never happened. Listen to what this colonial deal was telling our people, threatening them.
They tell me say the mobilization will be very good. Even though you should be last people come out before people come out of the house. I want to tell you, say this, so I don't show you all my happy face. The happy face for you don't finish. When I don't see her all. Now na new face. The cement chameleon do work and meet up green grass become green. When they meet up black, become black. So I don't want them to show me green grass. But when I want is to show me a red grass. So I will become red. That is the new face of it. When I see me, I go right to their school.
What have we not seen with these people? Since 1961 that they started tormenting us, that they started maltreating us. Remember this incident in 2018 when they went to a school in the southern zone and made our children listen to the language they use on our children. It is still continuing.
Je viens encore cela, je vais vous traiter encore cela. Je serai cela. Tout à l'heure, hop, very soon. Tout le monde va dormir là-bas là. Everybody will sleep like those guys, very soon. Look at this phone. Regardez le téléphone, c'est là. Je dis que regardez le téléphone, c'est là. 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 Tout le monde, regardez le téléphone là. Oh, regardez le téléphone, c'est là. Tout le monde doit dormir tout à l'heure là, comme les hommes là. Tout le monde doit dormir. Ne ris pas avec moi là. Ne ris pas avec moi.
That was in 2018. And this time you heard in that clip that I played with the colonial deal still threatening our people. It is the same thing. And there is no time they are going to stop this. But let us remember that whenever it is school resumption in the Cameroon Republic, it is always a tussle between us and them. They threaten our people. I am very certain that with the successes we portrayed on October 1st, 2020, school is going to start in Ambazonia in January of 2021. I shall be talking about that. But let us look at the new battlefront that we have now. If we embarked on this, it is very efficient. It is very effective. It minimizes casualties. It reduces the risk to our soldiers and to our people. It stops the Cameroon Republic on its tracks. It stops them from being mobile in our territory. If we embarked on this, they will not be able to come into our towns, into our villages, into our cities to commit those atrocities. It sends them home in group. That is, it kills them and give us victory sooner than later. The new battlefront. Let's watch it.
Fellow Ambazonians, once again, you are welcome to this edition of New Battle Time. We are represent my people's workers, as I can say. So how we are seeing the ambush, the military vehicles coming down from Kambe or from Do, I mean. We are going to have a battle with them. So it's time for battle. It's time for battle. So we are waiting on them to reach our ambush position time. Ambush time. So we are waiting on them.
Now them this. We don't come. We don't come. We don't the interval we attack it. We don't the interval we attack it. Now so yes. Lie out madam. No confident.
Yes, that is the new battlefront. Very effective, very efficient, minimizes casualties on our side, reduces the risk, stops the Cameroon Republic on their tracks, makes them immobile, send them home in groups, in lots of plastic bags. It gives us victory sooner. Let us now talk on this case of Christmas Abini, the Christmas Abini saga of taking the interim government to the Attorney General of Maryland. It is the right of every U.S. citizen to report things like that. It might not be immediate. I am touching on this because somebody did write me and was expressing some hard feelings. What if our leaders are taken to court and taken to jail? What we should understand here that the Christmas Abini saga is the right of every U.S. citizen. you can report something like that for investigation. But that doesn't mean that the Attorney General of Maryland is going to pick that case immediately. It might not even be a case, because there are other cases in front of that. And that is going to warrant an investigation and widen it. It is not only going to stop at the level of the interim government. Those people who did not commit themselves to auditing will be investigated. And I bet you the interim government, as far as I believe, is very free, because the audit investigation will answer for the interim government. The audit report will be there to defend the interim government, and the IRS tax document will also defend the interim government. But what I would like to say is that this case can take up to 2 years, up to 3 years before it ever comes to the forefront. It does not mean that the Attorney General of Maryland is going to abandon whatever thing they were doing and then pick up the Christmas Abenes case or complain and start working on it. Well, if they do, the interim government has the audit report that was already done, and that shows some that shows that we are clean, because we audited ourselves. The interim government audited itself, and the interim government filed taxes. So let us not worry about that Christmas Abenes saga. The face of the Ambazonian War is Ground Zero, led by President Sako. The face of the Ambazonian War is the concrete institutions under the interim government, the counties and the LGA. We had planned what we were going to do on October 1st, and we did it successfully. And what we did sent a coded message to our naysayers, to people who don't believe in us, to the Cameroon Republic, and to the international community. I will try to decode that message for us here. But before I do that, let me bring this up. I want to change my background.
That is the command given to them by Captain Anini.
Yeah, there we are. That you can see the clip, all in one clip of all of the activities that took place on October 1 in Ambazonia. It sent a message to the Cameroon Republic, most especially, that for 4 years, we are still as determined as we started. That for 4 years, we have not changed. That for 4 years, it is either Ambazonia or nothing. That talking to one another, compromising for the good of our nation, is what we now stand for. Because despite different one or two leadership, everybody came out, sang the same anthem, waved the same flag, celebrated our Independence Day. Ambazonia is one indigenous people, one origin, and one destiny. Nothing, not even the killings, not even the burning, the looting, the raping, the arrest, the imprisonment can break our resolve to defend ourselves, to free ourselves, to be Ambazonians, to carry on our own our own activities, to direct our own affairs, and that we shall settle at nothing except be a free people. We want to make our own decisions and control our own affairs. Nobody is going to decide for us. We are ready to fight and defend and conquer. That is the message that our people, especially our restoration forces, send on this October 1st. Let us bring you, I know it's a little bit longer, but let us bring you the clip.
That is a command given to them by Captain Anini of the Eastern Forces of the Ambazonia Revolution, known as the Jaguars of Bamising, Ndop County. And on this banner you can see the Republic of Ambazonia, and below it is written Celebration of the Independence Day, 1st of October 2020 by the Jaguars of Bamising, Ndop County, and under it is boldly written Freedom or Resistance Forever. This video is to clearly indicate to La Republic barbaric soldiers that we are standing tall and never to fall again. We are standing tall and never to fall again. These soldiers you are seeing here decided to leave their homes to fight for nothing but to die for something. They decided to stay in the bushes so that others can sleep. They decided to sleep without eating anything so that others can sleep while they have eaten something. Yes.
Better to die for Ambazonia than die for nothing. 4 years after, we are still the same, dancing the same style and the same tone. A lot of us, a lot of our soldiers are now organized, willing to fight and defend homeland. October 1st activities is part of the draft money. We see the war draft. The money has been used. If you look at the uniform, the activities from the northern zone to the southern zone, the same thing, the same t-shirts, the same camouflage, boots, sticks, new sticks, the granules, official way for our fighters, formation of our army, the national army. We think we should no longer be referred to as Amber Boys, but Amber Army. What unity can do, we see it here in our thoughts, in our action, and in our purpose. Part of the national plan. And what you see today, if it was out of 100, that would be 1/100th of 100. We tell you, as this has proven successful, more is going to come. Look at the boys. When La Republic killed innocent civilians, they placed them guns on them. But look at the sticks that they are carrying here, and then you will know the difference, that we have successfully built an army. The interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia has successfully built an army.
But let La Republic know, when they come into Bamising and they kill innocent civilians, let them not brandy them as restoration fighters, for we are indestructible. None of their bullet can penetrate us, for we are in our land. We are fighting our land and not theirs, and nobody. They have decided to sing towards their victory for the celebration of the Independence Day. You can see the Jaguars. These are the Jaguars of Bamising in Kokutunja County, Northern Zone. of the Republic of Ambazonia. These are just a selected few. You can see them marching in their numbers. Very strong. Not afraid of anything. This is a Carrefour that they have once occupied, but today it is in our hands. This is a building they were living in. Look at the windows. They destroyed everything, thinking that they are going to get us. But shame unto them. They couldn't do anything. The soldiers are singing, jubilating, and are very happy, celebrating their national day. Yes, these are their commander. This is Commander CY. That is Captain Anini.
No retreat, no surrender. No retreat, no surrender.
They want La Republic to know that no surrendering. They decided to go out and fight. And until they win, they are not going to surrender. As I said, this is just a deducted few out of what we have got. On the background is Jaguar himself. Yes, on the background is Jaguar himself.
There is conformity here and uniformity. We will listen at the speeches, look at their marching steps, the military honors, the military salutes, the code of conduct here. We see LGA, inter-county cooperation from the northern zone to the southern zone. Ambazonians came out as one. We continue to watch it because this is a one-in-all clip of what Ambazonians did on the 1st of October 2020.
Yes, it's the beginning. As he is saying,
No retreat,
no surrender. Yes, we are not going to surrender. We are on our land.
This is just the beginning.
It's the beginning.
Give them the message, tell La Republic. We have not started.
We have not started.
This is just the beginning.
It is just the beginning. Yeah.
We know where we are going to. We know where we are coming from.
Yes. That's the captain. We know where we are coming from. And we know where we will be going to.
We know where we are coming from and we know where we are going to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. The Ambazonian Restoration Force, BBC LGA, celebrating the Independent Day of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. Today, the 1st October 2020. You can see the Ambazonian Restoration Force in numbers. You can see them how sophisticated they are. You can see well armed, ready to combat La Republic terrorists. These are the Ambazonian Restoration Force under the BBC LGA in Gokotunja County, celebrating the Independent Day of Ambazonia.
If you want to kill me, I will never run away from this hunger.
Ambazonian Restoration Force, Ambazonian Restoration Force, BBC LGA, they ready combat for La Republic. The Ambazonian Restoration Force, Ambazonian Restoration Force, the ARF, under the interim government, the President, Comrade Sako, the President Sako. This is the Ambazonian Restoration Force under the President Sako, the interim government president. You can see all the forces. Yes. Today, the 1st October 2020, celebrating The Ambazonian Restoration Force, ABC-LGA, under the interim government, President.
I will plead with us here that at the end of this clip, there is a message that our restoration forces send to the Cameroon Republic and the international community. So invite your friends so that we can listen to it, because they send a clear message and made our position clear who can take up arms from them. A lot of people to me and they were expressing why these our restoration forces showed their faces. If you look in this clip, you will see that they don't bother to cover their faces. They don't have any choice. It is better they die for Ambazonia than die for nothing. Those who are becoming cowards and dropping their arms and running to the Cameroon Republic are going to their graveyard earlier than expected. Here we have successfully raised an army, and this is a message that these forces, our brave boys and girls are sending to the international community. They are sending to the interim government that they are ready. They are no longer afraid of covering their faces. If you come to our land, you will see them, and this is who they are. They are not covering their faces again. These two, we shall let you know what we should do on the way forward at the end of this clip. You watch with us.
You can see them. They are not afraid of anything. They are not afraid of anything. They are not afraid. These are too good. Take out your boy. Don't come over there. They are celebrating. Commander. Hey. You can see what this is just what I've got. Hey. Captain Anini on the move. That's it. That's Captain Anini. That's it. Let La Republic know that there are armed forces in Bamising, in the northern zone, and in Gokutunja County. They said they've killed all of us. It's a lie. This is Bamising. This is just a step. They are calling for La Republic soldiers. Hey. You can hear them. They are strong and healthy. They are afraid of nobody. This is just a selected few. Yeah, boy. Let La Republic know that people are there.
Okay. Word of where is Dominic? Brother, you are highly welcome.
That is the new camouflage for Ambazonian soldiers. We believe with time every Ambazonian soldier is going to come out in that camouflage in any official outing. We are still in the state of war, and because this was a celebration, we came out in our camouflage. You see that the national uniform for Ambazonian soldiers from the northern zone to the southern zone. You can see that camouflage, and this is telling the international community that we have become well organized. We now, if there is a time that any country, anybody needed to support us, we are now well organized. From the northern zone, from any county to county, from LGA to LGA, we can come out as one Ambazonia. This is one Ambazonian army. If you look at the number of soldiers that we have, you will know that if we can get the sticks and the groundnut, sending the Cameroon Republic out of our territory will just be like the snap of a finger.
Legislation by the Lucas.
Look at the orderliness of our soldiers. They are now giving military salutes and military honors from the northern zone to southern zone, from county to county, well organized, from LGA to LGA, in conformity and in uniformity. The Ambazonian army has been created, has been formed. The interim government now has a task which we will discuss on the way forward at the end of this show today. Look at our soldiers. This is how you will see them in every LGA. This is what the war draft is doing to Ambazonia. This is money from the war draft. It is just 1/100 of what the war draft is going to do. And we are pleading with those who have drafted. If you have not paid all of your war draft, this is a time for you to complete it. Those who have completed, we appreciate you and we thank you for what you are doing to Ambazonia. Those who did not have that opportunity to draft, look at what your brothers and your sisters did when they drafted. This is it. You can still draft, even though we are running out of the time frame, say, of that December. But you can still chip in something and draft for your county. If there is anybody who is doubting again whether we shall surrender, whether we shall go back to normal before 2016, that is a lie, because these brave boys and girls, they are not going to give up this. They already constitute our national army, and we have, those of us who have drafted and have paid completely, have pledged to support them to the end, and we are going to do that. There is still more that we're going to say at the end of this, the way forward, because after this, all in one clip, we will give you the way forward. The uniform, the t-shirts, the sticks, the granite, some of it that was used there, official ways for our leading military men. That is part of the draft money, and we are saying that if the draft was 100%, this is just 1/100 of the draft. When we shall go to 2%, right up to 10% or to 50% of the draft, you know what is going to happen. talking to one another as Ambazonians, compromising for the good of our nation. Ambazonia is one indigenous people, one origin, and one destiny. Not even the killings, not even the burning, not even the looting, the raping, the arrest, the imprisonment of our people can break our resolve. Look at their numbers. Look at the uniformity and the conformity in their military salutes, their military outing. We have successfully built an army to defend us, to stand for us, to be for us.
Struggle, and here are the authorities of Vampires of Bamuka and of Central. I am the Secretary General of Vampires of Bamuka. We are going to hear from the captain what he has in mind about the day of today, the atmosphere of today, and the nature of the activities of today. So, Mr. Captain, good morning.
Good morning. Well, today is the 1st of October 2020. We don't successfully march, even though since 1 week to today, the military minister of Pobia, they don't have a little more rest. The whole night we be all with them. Till now, we don't successfully, we don't march. I made a no say. As far as this Ambazonian land concerned, they don't get no place for this land. Simply make a no say that Ambazonian Pekin, we the currency million Daniel, we don't deserve to sell life for money for the public, for can't fight we. Say me stand fine. Me all them, me they stand fine. They are done go Addison, we say mayor from Gokutunja. Say we give them 1 week now for inside this dock.
If the number of killings, the number of burning down our villages, burning down our towns, burning down our cities did not break our resolve, 4 years after, we still came out in this number, with this number of determined boys and girls to fight for us, then the Cameroon Republic should know that Ambazonia has come to stay, that we will settle for nothing, except to be a free people in a free land, making decisions for ourselves, controlling our own affairs, with nobody deciding for us. We are ready to fight and to defend and to conquer, like is being echoed from northern zone to southern zone, from county to county, from LGA to LGA. Better we die for Ambazonia than to die for nothing.
Thank you very much. We have listened from first in command who said that the military is not far from here, and I can confirm that because we have got around and the military has struggled to intrude us but to no avail. So we are going to listen from second in command and his work that he did yesterday in Gokutunja. Some military was being killed yesterday. So Mr. Commander, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary. This is Commander Jack from Gokutunja Vampire. I make this special video for 1st October. For Terra, the public government say which way they plan and which way they get them for their head is small. Say the Amazonian land, may they just leave Amazonian land for them. And at the time, they work on this small deal where the come for this side, say one can control Gokutunja Vampire.
4 years after, we are still the same, on the same marching steps, on the same dancing style, and with the same tone, sending the same message. The Cameroon Republic should evacuate Ambazonia. Ambazonia is for Ambazonia. We will fight and defend our homeland. We have now become organized. We have now constituted or built an army that there is information flow. It is not as we started when everything was haphazard. If you look at the boys, the conformity, the uniformity, their sticks, the sticks have improved. We say here that October 1 was just the tip of the iceberg, a show of 1/100th of the Amber War draft. When we shall get to 2% to 3% to 10%, 50% of the Amber War draft, the Cameroon Republic will hear from us.
Yes, and they not go to guard them for that school. We don't pass them for where they don't fit control any person. They're just the one open school. Now who school where they don't born out, they don't rebuild them. Now who school where they don't born out, they don't build them back. They say reconstruction. They give them money for reconstruction. They can't work and bomb people that has it. How many has they don't born very recently? How many has they buy for boy? How many for boy? How many place them? So no to school reconstruction. Any teacher, any mommy, we pay a picky for school. Any teacher go for school. Go any delegate office. No say you do with the amateur reconstruction forces on Babunga.
Any teacher, any delegate, when they talk about delegate here, they are talking of the colonial administrators. And we are saying that Ambazonia, by the interim government, says it is not safe yet to send our children to school. And those who think they can force their ways and go against the will of the interim government and that of our restoration forces, bullets do not know who you are. For the safety of our children, we think in this program, we are predicting that by January, schools should be able to open in Ambazonia. Let's continue to listen.
Holy water day, smoke your banga. Holy water day. Take over. Kobiya say he got tired. I'ma take over. Kobiya say he got tired. I'ma take over.
As you can see, this is the street of Ekona town. This is the street of Ekona town. We make the way to understand that we are not afraid for the La Public. We move directly to the street of Ekona town. We are inside Ekona town. Do the march pass. We are telling the La Public, we are telling the embassies that say we are not afraid from them. We are there for them. The one war, we shall give the war. We tell the US, say, we are not afraid for everybody. We are not afraid for the La Public. We shall attack La Public anyhow we wanted. This is the great soldier of FACO action, marching to where the agenda is.
We shall meet again.
Obembe!
Don't worry.
Clear out!
Don't you worry. If I happen to die, as I'm a soldier, never mind. We shall meet again. Don't you worry. Oh my sisters. Don't you worry.
I'm by the weekend. Some people they walk on fire, belly. I'm by the weekend.
Ceasefire, ton.
Somewhere, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation. If you give us ammunition, we shall conquer. Dr. Samuel, we're forming a nation.
This is all part draft money. And the face of the war, the face of this revolution is Ground Zero, led by President Sako of the interim government. The face of this war, the face of this revolution is the concrete institutions that have been put in place by the internal government led by President Sako, the counties and the LGAs.
Let's go.
Four years after, we are still as determined as we started. We have not changed. It is Ambazonian or nothing. We talk to one another. That is very important. If you listen to the president's message that I explained, he called for unity. We should unite in battles so that we come out united in victory. Ambazonia is one indigenous people from one origin to one destiny. Nothing has stopped us. Nothing has changed our determination. Nothing has deterred our cause, our resolve as a people.
And Meme County, Happy Independence Day 2020. In honor of our fallen heroes, compatriots in this revolution who have passed on to the world beyond, Commandant Ebai, Mba Ivo, Divine, Tiger, Cross, Bertus, Liver, and Ebube, and valiant commanders and soldiers who have given up their lives to defend the heritage of our southern Cameroon and to free the people of Ambazonia from the colonial slavery of La République du Cameroon. Fellow brothers and sisters of Kumba LGA, Meme County, as we gather here together to celebrate the 1st of October as a free people and as a free nation, we salute the sacrifices of our brothers from the northern to the southern zone who have stood their grounds to defend homeland from the infiltrators of the colonial masters. Kumba LGA sends their words of thanks to the people of Kumba LGA and the entire government led by His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sako and the entire Ambazonian.
On this day, 1st October 2020, when Manunguba Restoration Forces, this is a different branch of the military power. Infantry Battalion, they are showing their might. This is another group of the military. You can see their attire is different from the first. You can see their might. They are showing, demonstrating in front of the traditional authorities, in front of the civilians as a whole. You can see the commander. That is what they need. They need more weapons. They need more sponsorship to kick La République out of their territory. This is a continuation of a special branch. You can see them in different attire, different from the federal marshal. This you can see them in their number. They are showing their might, standing strong Giving respect to the flag of Ambazonia, front of the village at large. This is to show their might. You can see them. You can see they are showing their might. They need more weapons. You can see them in their number showing their might. You can see them in their number showing their might, showing their population might.
Of Ejagan.
This is part draft money. Draft money we drafted sometimes in between the months of March and August of 2020 that we have used, and we want to show the world that we are united, that we have conformity, that we have built an army ready to defend Ambazonia. This is under the auspices of President Sako. If you look at them from the northern zone, from county to county, from LGA to LGA, there is uniformity, there is a sense of direction, there is a sense of leadership under the interim government.
Marching, celebrating their Independence Day. As you see them marching from one place, from one corner of the field to another. They are marching, celebrating the independence of the Southern Cameroons. And everywhere the Southern Cameroons are celebrating for their freedom that was stolen, that they are struggling in order to regain it back. As you see them marching in their numbers, the restoration fighters and the civilians of supporting them behind, you see how they are moving in order with the happiness of their Independence Day. So we are pleading for the world, the nation, the United Nations, the AU, the African Union, to see the struggling of the Southern Cameroonians fighting for their Independence Day as they are moving.
Our resolve as a free people has not changed, even given the way the Cameroon Republic was killing us and destroying our land. Look at the boys, how determined they are, how organized they are. This shows that when we shall implement the war draft 50%, we shall be talking of something different rather than what you are seeing now. This is part Amber War draft, the draft that was drafted county by county. We appreciate those who drafted and have paid in their full draft. Those who have not drafted, those who have not completed their draft, you have seen what we can do with the draft. When we put the remaining part draft money into projects, this we shall get more than this. Imagine if the sticks you are seeing these boys carrying now can be given to all these boys from the northern zone to the southern zone, from county to county, From LGA to LGA, we will be talking a different thing now. And that is what is going to happen.
Presentation of weapons.
And this reminds us, those groups that are not yet affiliated to their local government areas now have an opportunity to get involved in their local government areas.
Yes, it is to tell La Republic that they are not tired. This is a take-home message to La Republic.
XXX in Toba LGA, commemorating the 1st October.
This is Northern Zone. We are calling on those fighters who are not yet affiliated to their LGAs to do so, because it is through your LGA that you can be taken care of. It is through your LGA that you can be equipped. It is through your LGA that your complaints can be channeled. It is through your LGA that the interim government can listen to you. You cannot see that with the draft money, we are able to tell those who are doubting us. We are able to tell the Cameroon Republic. We are able to tell the international community that we have built an Ambazonian army, the People's Army. We are calling on young boys and girls to draft, to get themselves enrolled, to get themselves recruited as soldiers in the Ambazonian army.
That is Captain Spark commanding the 5th Military Commander, commanding the Restoration Force of Ambazonian, commanding the Liberation Force, commanding everybody who is patriotic to fight for the liberation of Ambaland. We say, God bless you. May God.
Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our name, and your children shall be like the stars above. They must glory, the watchman of this nation. Amazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our name, and your children shall be like the stars above. They must glory, the watchman of this nation.
We are not terrorists, we are not rebels, we are restoration forces of Ambazonia. We took up arms to
I wish that those who are watching with us should listen to this message. This message was well said.
In 1961. So, we are not terrorists, we are not rebels, we are Ambazonian Restoration Forces. We took up arms to restore our statehood, stolen by La Republique and France, even with the United Nations. The Ambazonian Restoration Forces here today believe that we are a country. In 1961, we had an independence as a country. We got our independence from Britain in 1961, while French Cameroon under France, as her colonial master, also has an independence in 1960. So we have two separate countries. Therefore, we had never been part of La Republique du Cameroon. We have never been anything in common with La Republique du Cameroon. Therefore, we did not take arms to fight against marginalization or to fight for peace. A special status, I am the regime may call a so-called special status. No, for any equity, we are not fighting for all this nonsense. We as a people and a state, we want complete control of our resources and territory. Biya and his occupying forces have lost control over Tunja and Southern Cameroon as well. They should now run to the negotiation mediated, they should now to the international mediated negotiation, and we are telling Yaoundé regime and even the international community and United Nations that on that negotiation table, we will settle to nothing than independence of the Federal Republic of Cameroon. Because we are not going to lay down our arms in no way to La Republic. First of all, they didn't give us any arms. We took up arms to restore our stolen statehood. Therefore, we are only going to hand up our arms to the government in place, to the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. The United Nations and the international community have been silent for injustice that La Republique du Cameroon has imputed on the people of Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. The genocide ongoing in Southern Cameroon is a result of injustice caused by the United Nations, France, and the international community. More than 5,000 villages have been razed down by the terrorist forces of La Republique. Pregnant women have died, children have died by the forces of lawlessness. Elderly men and women have also died because of this senseless war by the foreigner. And we have more than millions of refugees in the foreign lands. And we have up to half of millions internal displaced by this senseless war, which the United Nations and the international community, they are aware of that injustice and and also for the suffering of these massive people of their right. All this is a result of international conspiracy. So United Nations, it is your right now and mandate to step in with your peacekeeping forces to protect a people as mandated by the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1608, paragraph 5 of April 1st, 1961. We want justice to Southern Cameroonians. That is the only way peace will reign in this land. Again, I want to tell La Republique that we started this war with guns gone. But today, we are now a national Ambazonian army with a sophisticated weapons.
Give me the power, give me the freedom. Your people are crying, why won't you listen? Seeking for justice, for a brighter future. Let's do this together in peace and harmony. CC go take us there to the promised land. No one will stop us now. No, 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 no. CC go take us there to the promised land. No one will stop us now. No, 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 no. Ambazonia, Ambazonia, the time of freedom has come today. Ambazonia, Ambazonia, the time of freedom is here to stay. Ambazonia, Ambazonia, the time of freedom has come today. Ambazonia, Ambazonia, the time of freedom is here to stay. Waka na waka, today na today, nobody go Caesar to jubilate. I say Mandela and Nkrumah, it's now since we go 10 Africa, 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 hey, Africa, hey. Come together, help your brother, hey, Africa, hey. Dance together, love another, hey, Africa, hey.
Mama Liliana, women.
Give me the power, give me the freedom. Your people are crying, why won't you listen? Seeking for justice, for a brighter future. Let's do this together in peace and harmony. Sisi go take us there to the promised land. No one will stop us now. No, 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 no. Sisi go take us there to the promised land. No one will stop us now. No, 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 no. Ambazonia, Ambazonia, the time of freedom has come today. Ambazonia, Ambazonia, the time of freedom is here to stay. Ambazonia, Ambazonia, the time of freedom has come today.
Yes, thank you all those who have been able to watch all this with us, those who share. Remember, please, this is the only program and this is the only studio that brings you everything that happens in a week in one program and on one show. We acknowledge Waters Chair, who is watching with us. We Matanjo, Tiendem, Breezy, Haman, they are watching with us. Please, we are gradually coming to the end of our show today, and we have to discuss the way forward after this successful 1st of October celebration 2020, which will show to the world that we have built a national Ambazonia army. The first thing we need to do is to promote inter-LGA by LGA and inter-county cooperation. When this is done, we are going to move to higher heights. We have all seen the conformity and the uniformity in the display of our military prowess in uniform, in marching steps, in our stakes and in our groundnut. And that tells you that the draft money has been put into use, as President Sako once said in one of his weekly messages to Ambazonia. What is the way forward? This being the tip of the iceberg of the usage of the draft money, with a success of close to 110%. Ground Zero is the face of this revolution under the leadership of the interim government, with President Sako as its leader. The Ambazonian army has been built. We need satellite internet in Ambazonia now, so that we can best go forward with other plans. We need to roll the national strategic plan. If what we plan on October 1st is this successful, we don't need again to go into county inter-LGA by LGA strategic plan. We need to roll the national strategic plan, because if we do that, the successes of this October 1st 2020 celebration can be reflected in the national strategic plan. If we do that, then what we had planned for this national strategic plan will be very, very successful. But the first thing, the interim government should try and put in place, or get the satellite internet put in place in our territory, because our people have shown the world, and especially our enemy, that after 4 years that they came in thinking they will kill us, thinking they would destroy our houses, destroy our villages, destroy our towns, destroy our cities, they will break our resolve. Nothing has changed. and we are still one Ambazonia, very determined, not change from what we started 4 years ago. So if the interim government is listening to us, I know they listen to us, they should do everything to get the satellite internet in Ambazonia. When they get that, then they go ahead and roll the national strategic plan, because the trial of this 1st of October military prowess Ambazonia Army was a success, and we are grading it at 110% success. Now we look at the question. If there's anybody with a question, we shall answer it. If not, we shall call it a day, and then we promise that in the weekend, when we go back to our normal programming, which always come out every weekend, we shall show you the successes of our refugees, how they celebrated October 1 in refugee camps in Nigeria. We have Samuel TB, you're watching. You have Ibrahim Mustafa, you are watching. Rebecca Ekong, you are watching. If there is any question, I know somebody was, a lot of people were talking about the draft money. You have seen what the draft money has done on October 1st, and we are still using this medium to tell those who, we want to tell those who drafted and have paid in full. Those who drafted and paid only part, this is the time for you to complete your draft. Those who did not draft, those who were doubting us, please, you can still draft. We are not saying that you should draft that $1,000. Anything you draft will go a long way. Then those fighters, those restoration forces who are not yet affiliated to their LGAs should do so, because this time around we have successfully built a national Ambazonia army. Any question there? Anything? We know our phone lines have been down for the past 2 months, but we are putting it in place. If you can leave a comment there, you want us to answer any question, we will do that. We have Matt and Joe. We have a lot of people watching. We've called their names: Wine, Wunge, Eric, and Kengo. You're watching. Joseph, Fongo, you're watching with us. So, if not there, then we can call it a day, and then we call on those who are with us today. Please like and share and follow us on NTV.com, our Facebook page, and follow us. We are also broadcasting on Bui Worldwide Facebook page. Let us see whether we can get you some music there to spice this program that we have successfully brought to you today. And thank you all. There's nobody with a question. Everybody sings. That is great spirit, bro. We are one. Yes, we are one, and we are determined. If there was anybody who is still doubting our results 4 years after, we have shown it, and we did show it on October 1 that we are still the same. If you look at the soldiers that are marching here, that are celebrating here, then you compare it to those ones the Cameroon Republic say they are killing. You look at the stakes that we have here, and you compare it to those ones the Cameroon Republic place on our innocent civilians that they are our restoration forces that they have killed. They will speak for themselves, and we don't need to tell you that. We know a lot of people have come to say that schools are reopening or this. The interim government has a plan. We don't yet have peace in Ambazonia. Bullets are still going to be flying. And what I can tell you is that in the days ahead, if you heard what President Sako said in his speech that I broadcast today, this is a new phase of our challenge. This is a new phase that we have embarked on. That is why our soldiers came out with their faces. We don't have any way to go. We have been pushed to the wall. There is nothing we can do again except come out, show our faces, and defend ourselves. Anybody who is running to the Cameroon Republic is committing suicide or going to the graveyard on foot. If You doubt me, you can ask somebody like Nambere and Success Congo. You can ask those who claim they are in the DDR center. They feel like they lie them that nobody can defeat the Cameroon government. We have defeated the Cameroon government. If you listen to what one professor was saying, that no country has ever had 2 Independence Day, we don't mind about that. He is correct because he is talking about La République du Cameroun. And when he talks about La République du Cameroun, he doesn't include Ambazonia. Ambazonia is now a different country, and we have successfully raised an army to defend us. Let us bring this, and then we bring you message to end the day.
That is a command given to them by Captain Anini of the Resistance Forces of the Ambazonia Revolution, known as the Jaguars of Bamisi in the county. And on this banner you can see the Republic of Ambazonia, and below it is written celebration of the Independence Day, 1st of October 2020 by the Jaguars of Bamisi in the county, and under it is boldly written freedom or resistance forever. This video is to clearly indicate to La République barbaric soldiers that we are standing tall and never to fall again. We are standing tall and never to fall again. These soldiers you are seeing here decided to leave their homes to fight for nothing but to die for something. They decided to stay in the bush.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. Like I said, those of you who have not yet liked or click subscribe to follow us on our page, on our Facebook pages where we are broadcasting. Like now that we have this program, we are on TJ Soyune's timeline. We are on the Facebook page of NTV.com. We are on the Facebook page of Bui Worldwide. So you like, you click like, you share, and then you follow us. We Don't Cry for Long by Wajiki. And with that, we say thank you all and bye-bye for today. Next weekend is another appointment.
Master Robuster on the beat.
We don't cry for long. What I finish for our eyes. What I finish for our eyes.
Anaisa sia esunaia koma chisa for more. Anaisa sia esunaia koma chisa for more. Hallelujah to more, eh. Hallelujah to more, eh. When koma igali kongo, ichini konge. When koma igali kongo, fabale kom nilema. When koma igali kongo, ichini konge. Yes, I do more. Ikasi ba mi bua. Yes, I do more. Mi laiba fumana. Yeli akoma wo fosse girando se bua. Na yeli fute man na yeli ametwa ando wale bua. Ibale koma. Wen koma ibale koma. Wabonga fo wakfate koma. We don't cry for long, we don't cry for long now. What I finish for our eyes, what I finish for our eyes. We don't cry for long, we don't cry for long now. What I finish for our eyes, what I finish for our eyes. Anaisa sia esunaia koma chisa for more. Anaisa sia esunaia koma chisa for more. Hallelujah to more, eh. Hallelujah to more, eh. When koma igali kongo, ichini konge. When koma igali kongo, fabale kom nilema. When koma igali kongo, ichini konge. When koma igali kongo, fabale kom nilema. Yes, I do more. Ikasi ba mi bua. Yes, I do more, me like but from now. Yali come wa for se ando se bois. Na reli foute me na reli ame toi ando ma le bois.
Ibale comment? Why comment ibale comment? Wabonga fo wakrate comment? Na ibale comment?
We don't cry for long, we don't cry for long now. What I finish for our eyes, what I finish for our eyes. We don't cry for long, we don't cry for long now. What I finish for our eyes, what I finish for our eyes. Anaisa sia esunaria koma chisa for more. Anaisa sia esunaria koma chisa for more. Hallelujah to more, ya to more. Yes, I do more. Ikasi ba mi bois. Yes, I do more. Me like for mana. Yali akoma wa for se ando se bois. Na reli foute me na reli ame toi